I've been Hi, I've been wanting to revamp a Stronghold for a while now, and I think I finally found a way to do it because I've seen many Portal redesigns, but not really the entire Stronghold. Okay, so I found a Stronghold right here, and there's a few things that I want to cover before we actually start. So as always, let's cover some of the things that I want to go over in this revamp. One of the things that I for sure want to do is extend the starter staircase. I also want to define the Stronghold a little bit more. There's a bunch of walls that got destroyed by cave generation, so I want to fix that type of thing. And there's also like really small hallways that are like 3 blocks long, so I want to get rid of those. Just I didn't feel like they add anything to the actual Stronghold. And then apart from making it prettier like always, I want to add a few things for the player that make the experience a little bit better to go through. Like I want to add a bed somewhere, just because who doesn't set their spawn before going to the end fight? There's some rooms that don't really have anything, so I would like to add some more things for loot potential. Other than that, let's go on to actually renovating this thing. So like I said, I want to fix a bunch of the structure, so I'm gonna go around the entire Stronghold and fix stuff like this, just like random cave generation that destroyed the Stronghold. So I want to fix that type of thing. I'm also gonna go around and get rid of like rooms like this one. I feel like this is small enough to the point where I can get rid of it and I'll probably not even notice that it was there. And then also I'm gonna cover up any walls that have exposed stones or deep slate like this, so I'll make this entire thing a solid wall. And with that, I feel like we can actually start fixing everything. Hi, I'm back with another revamp. Unfortunately, you can't really tell what I'm doing, and I spent a lot of the time just going back and forth between creative and spectator, so you're barely gonna be able to notice when I'm actually on screen. But trust me, in this clip I'm fixing everything, and this was one of those revamps where I thought like, oh yeah, I can do it in like 3 hours, and then 3 hours go by and I barely even finished the hallway, so it took way longer than I expected. But I really hope you like the end result. I tried to stick really close to the original. I mean, the original, like everything is stone brick, so I just had to do something different. But I tried to not change the entire thing. I tried to stay close to what I thought a Stronghold would truly be if it were to be reworked. This is my vision of it. Oh, and it also kind of works. Like if you've ever wanted to live in the Stronghold so you have the end portal be more convenient to you, I think this revamp is really good if you want to fix up the entire Stronghold for a base, but don't know what to do with it. So I'm trying to fill in that gap of creators that don't really do the entire Stronghold and just the end portal. But anyways, okay, I think that's it for the clip, so please do enjoy the video. Okay, so I think I just went through the entire thing. I didn't get rid of every useless hallway because I feel like some of the charm of the Stronghold is that it's very maze-like and kind of confusing to get around. So I do want to keep some of the useless hallways that you just see around, but everything you see lit up by a torch is everything that we're going to change. So now that I have everything mapped, I'm gonna go around and fix some of these hallways like this one, get rid of a lot of doors because these are so annoying to get through, and make the access to other rooms a lot more straightforward. So in first person, so you can see what I'm actually doing, I'm gonna open up all of these corridors because I find it so annoying, especially if they're iron doors, just having to open up every single door that I come through. So I'm just gonna try and open these up so we can walk through them a little bit easier. I'm gonna also get rid of all of these iron bars. Don't worry, I will add them back in a different way, but god, there's okay, bye. Okay, I think I just finished filling everything up and fixing everything. I think this room right here is the one that suffered the most just because there were like 3 or 4 hallways that led to the same place. Overall, it was pretty easy just covering up some of the weird hallway things. There were also quite a lot of hallways like this one that don't really lead anywhere, but I'm gonna leave because I feel like they're too big to just cover up. I feel like we can do something a little bit more interesting or just make it into a regular hallway, to be honest. But apart from that, I think we are done fixing everything and just making sure that all the hallways are easy to go through and not too confusing to walk around. So I think we're done. Now that we simplified all the hallways, finally time for renovating. So I think the first thing that we can modify is the floor, and this is going to be really simple. I'm gonna grab some polished andesite and then also some cobblestone and mossy cobblestone, and I wanted to fix all the hallways first just so I know where I'm gonna lay out the floor, because in the middle of all the hallways I'm gonna grab some of the polished andesite and place it right in the middle. So over here it turns, I'm gonna go right in the middle and then destroy the entire thing and place the andesite right in the center. And then one thing that I don't really like about the Stronghold is that everything is stone bricks, so we really need some stone variations. So for the floor, I'm gonna grab some of the mossy cobblestone and the regular cobblestone, and I'm gonna get rid of all the ones that are not the andesite and just place them kind of randomly like this. I'm gonna first place a cobblestone, and whatever is left, I'm just gonna fill it in with the mossy cobblestone. I'm gonna leave the staircase like this for now, but I'm just gonna focus on the rest of the floors. So again, this is going to be the same process for every single floor in the entire stronghold. So I'm just gonna do that, and I'll see you in a time lapse. The floors were actually pretty simple. I just followed that same pattern that I showed you. The only thing that I didn't do were the big rooms because I wasn't sure at the time if I did want the entire floors to be that pattern. But either way, I ended up sticking with it, so it didn't really matter. I was trying to just focus on the hallways because that's the thing that I wanted to tackle first. It was almost the same as the mansion revamp that I did. I just wanted to get the hallways done so I can move on to everything else. And yeah, I was right. The hallways were the thing that took me the longest in this entire thing. There were just so many. There were just so many. I thought that I was done multiple times, and then I went to another room and noticed that I hadn't done the hallway. So yeah, I suffered a lot just going back and forth. So either way, in just a sec, you're gonna be able to see what I did for the hallways. So I'll give you back to past me. As I probably said, I left some of the rooms. I made this one because I'm stupid, but I think I left most of the rooms empty for the floor. This one's the one that I'm mostly confused of. I think I just did it a little bit too big. So I might restructure this when I focus on those jail cells. But right now, I think we can move on to the rest of the hallways. So the hallways that are like long and big like this one. So I'm gonna grab this hallway right here as an example. And I'm gonna show you what I want to make. For the hallways, I'm gonna focus on the chiseled stone bricks, some stairs, some walls, the andesite slabs, some iron bars, and then these four, so oak logs, spruce stairs, iron chains, and just lanterns to light the place up. And I actually, before I even build anything, I want to start off by making the hallways a lot taller than they already are. So I'm gonna get rid of 3 blocks. So 1, 2, 3. I want to get rid of 3 blocks all the way throughout the hallway. For now, I think I just have to get rid of all of this first. So the ceiling is gone, and now to actually decorate this, I want to start with making some of the arches. So we got rid of all the iron bars that were like in between each of the rooms. So I want to create some arches using some of the stone brick stairs. I want to place it on the 4th block. So 1, 2, 3, 4, then a stair right here, another stair, and then on top of it, I'm just gonna grab some stone bricks and place those across. And then for the actual iron bars, I'm just gonna place them underneath those stairs like this, and then we have an archway. Also, I want to mention that I'm going to make these types of arches go 1 block in from the rest of the hallways. I left 1 block right here, and then the hallway goes over there. This is going to be another archway, so 1 block, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. The stair goes right there, another stair, and then the top with some bricks and the iron bars on the sides. That's gonna be another archway. Then over here, we need another one. Stone bricks on top, and the same thing with the iron bars. I just want to make sure that I always leave a corner at least because I want to add a chisel stone brick at the very bottom, then get rid of all of these, and at the same level as those stone bricks, I'm gonna place a chisel stone brick, and then the rest of it, I'm just gonna fill it in with some walls. And then you might have some other stones that are peeking through. I'm just gonna replace it and place a stone brick for now, but that's how I want everything to look like. And same thing with this corner, so chisel stone bricks over on this side, 1 here on top, 3 walls here in the middle, and any andesite or whatever it is peeking through it, I'll replace it with some stone bricks. So right now we have 3 intersections. So right now we have 3 arches. This one is an intersection, so I will add another one over here. Now everything looks symmetrical, but for the actual ceiling, this is where I want to bring in another block. Just because everything is so gray in here, I just need some other color. So I'm gonna be using the oak logs and some spruce stairs, and I'm gonna use it to create beams across the entire thing. This one is way too small, so I'm not gonna add a beam, but I'm gonna go over here where it's a little bit longer. I'm gonna try and follow the same pattern, but if it doesn't match perfectly, it doesn't really matter. So on longer parts like this one, I'm gonna leave a 3 block gap between whatever arch we have. So this one, 1, 2, 3, and then add a wood beam, place some upside down spruce stairs around those logs, and then with the slabs, I'm gonna go on the same level as this stone brick right here. Then I'm gonna go half a block up, so right here, just so we create a tiny little arch. And then this one is gonna be the same as this one, so just like this. Again, any stone that is peeking through, oops, I'm gonna replace it. Oh my god, go away. I'm gonna replace it with some stone bricks, and then on each of these wooden beams, I'm gonna grab a lantern and just place it in the middle. And then over on this side where the gap was too small, I'm gonna do the same thing with the slab. So a slab right here on the same level all the way across, and then this one on the same level. Now there are gonna be a bunch of intersections like this one, or some of the corners like this one, and I'm gonna show you what I want to do with those. I want them to be a little bit more different. So with the slabs, I'm just gonna line the stone bricks that we have. So 1, 2, 3. this one over on this side, and 1, 2, 3 over here. I'm gonna make a checkered pattern using the smooth stone and some chisel stone bricks. I'm gonna start with the smooth stone. I'm gonna place those in the corner and in the middle, and the rest of it is gonna be the stone, the chisel stone. And then all of these intersections, I'm gonna grab a chain, place it in the middle, and then I'm gonna place a lantern. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good way to start. I'm gonna jump into a time lapse, and I'm gonna do this with all the hallways, so that's gonna take a bit, so I'll be back. I swear, if anyone mentions a hallway ever again, you're just gonna add to the PTSD of this video and the mansion video. Fortunately, I did like how it turned out. Oh, and you probably saw before this voiceover, I mentioned that there was a big room where a lot of hallways led to the exact same place, and I got rid of them. It was supposed to be in this recording, but I forgot about it. I ended up restructuring the entire hallways for that place. I just had to restructure some of the staircases and some of the other hallways, but to be honest, it really fit in. I made it in a way where it was loopy and confusing enough so it looked like actual Minecraft generation, but somehow it was still easier to get around compared to the original, so I have no idea what I did. I think I probably show a clip of it later. I have no idea. But yeah, I'm talking about the room where all the gel cells are. Either way, in these clips, I just made the main structure of the hallway. I still had some of the chests to do, some more decoration I wanted to do for dead ends, and kind of the staircases. I consider that like part of the hallway, so more than half the video I think is just hallways. And the more I hear that word, the more that it sounds less like a word, so I need to stop saying it. Anyways, okay, I think that's it. So there were a few hiccups along the way just because nothing is consistent in this thing, so let me try and find some of them. Oh, so this one right here, the gap in between some of the arches that I placed was not wide enough to place a wooden beam, so I just left it all andesite like this. So I just found one like this one. Technically the wooden beam would have gone right here, but I didn't like how the beam would have been flush to the wall, so I just left it all andesite instead. And I feel like this way it looks a lot more consistent with the rest of the hallways. But let me see this one over here. This is a great example of the pattern that I was trying to follow. So I was leaving a 3-block gap in between each one of the wooden beams, and then in the corners this is how it looks like. And then I was so confused on one part. Let me see if I can try and find it again. So the way that this is structured, the spiral staircase lands right here, it loops all the way around, goes all the way through here. And I did think about just connecting it this way and just make it go through here, but the spiral staircase, I would have to change it in order to do that. So I left it how it was originally, but in return, it still made this wall 2 wide instead of 3. So ideally, I would have another pillar going right here. So you just kind of have to deal with the fact that it's not symmetrical like the rest of them. It's just this part that kind of bothers me, but if I don't pay too much attention to it. But just to finish off the hallways, there's just one more thing that I want to do. So let me find a dead end real quick. This one I won't really consider a dead end just because it has something in it, the chest, but this one right here is. So I'm gonna grab some of the blocks that I have right here. I'm gonna grab some cobwebs, some redstone dust, an iron chain, and then some of the stairs. So the mossy stone stairs and also the stone brick stairs. And I thought that was going to be a little bit unfair if I got rid of all of the dead ends in the stronghold, just because if I do that, then most of the stronghold would have been gone. So this is my way of just kind of making them fit in. So I'm gonna try and make it a little bit more abandoned, kind of to tell the player that there's nothing in there. So I think the easiest way to go about this is just to place some cobwebs, maybe one there too. I also want to place some redstone dust and maybe toggle a few of them just so it's a little bit different. And then for the walls, I want to make holes in them using the stone stairs. So it's really easy. I'm just gonna grab a stair and place it on the wall, mix in some of the mossy ones as well, and then it just looks a little bit more abandoned like this. And then in the hallways that have a lantern like this, I'm gonna replace it with a chain instead, just to make it look like the lantern broke off. But I'll try to see if the light level is appropriate enough. Otherwise, I will place the lantern back. But oh my god, they changed everything. I don't know. What the hell? Wait, okay, let me give me a second. Client light. Okay, I got it. So this block is 4, that's fine. This one's 3, that's also fine. If the block light level is 0, I'll place the lantern back. But otherwise, I'll just keep it like this. It kind of makes it look a little bit more broken. So I'll try to find all the dead ends and do the same thing on all of them. So I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I think I got all of them. Oh, I almost forgot. So in the floor, I placed these like water cracks. I'm gonna show you how I did it. So over here, grab some of the cobblestone stairs and I placed those randomly in the floor. This one doesn't really have a pattern, but this one over here was a little bit more complicated. So what I did, I just kind of turned different directions until I found like a different shape that I could do. So this was a normal stair, this was a corner stair, and then another normal stair. And then I just waterlogged it like this. So the abandoned hallway starts from over here, just because none of these lead to anywhere. So all of this is just decorated like it was abandoned. You can see I left only one lantern over here at the back. And then all the rest of them are just a single chain. Otherwise, that's pretty much it. I feel like it looks pretty good. The addition of the water, I feel like it ties everything together. So I think with that, the main hallways are already done. So now I think it's a good time to focus on moving these chests that are just kind of in the way. So for this, I'm just gonna copy this chest. So I'm gonna hit Control and then the middle button on my mouse, and that will copy the exact same chest like this. So I can now get rid of it without any problem. And instead of having it sideways like this, I'm gonna have it go this way because I feel like it's in the way every single time I walk through a hallway. And I'm using andesite because I wanted to match with the path of the floor. So this is pretty easy. I'm just gonna place a block in the center, surround that with some stairs, and then on top of the stairs on the side, I'm gonna place a slab like this. And then in the middle, we can place the chest. And there we go. I think this way, the hallway has a little bit more of a purpose and it's not in the way. So I'm gonna try to find all the other ones. Actually, here's one. And do that exact same thing. So I think this is the last chest. This one's a little bit different actually. Just because there's not an end to this hallway. It just connects to another thing. So what I'm gonna do is just make it look like it's built into the wall instead. So I'm gonna get rid of these 9 blocks right here and then go back 1 more block so it's a little bit more built in. I'm gonna grab those stone stairs and make an archway this way. And then the back is just gonna be stairs facing forward so it corners like this. I'll try to fix the floor so it leads this way. I think we can get rid of this one. Yeah, I think that's fine. And then these are supposed to be cobblestone. There we go. And then the back wall can also be stone bricks just to match the rest of the hallway. And then finally, this is where the setup is going to be. So same thing with the andesite, some stairs on the side, those slabs right here, and then the chest in the middle. And you can still open it since this is a stair. And I feel like this is way more convenient than just having it be in the middle of the hallway. Now that we're done with the hallways, I feel like it's a good time to actually make an entrance for the stronghold. And for that, I'm gonna be using the starter staircase, and I marked it here with a bunch of torches. I definitely want to make it wider just so it's not so tight when you go up and down. And I also have to make it go all the way to the surface. So the starter staircase is right here. There's a water cave right above it. But if from here we go straight up, I think it should be good if we just dig a massive hole all the way down to the starter staircase, and that's going to be the main entrance. So the plan is to dig a 5x5 hole, which should cover this entire thing. It should be the entire ring, and I'm gonna do that all the way up. And luckily I'm in creative, so I can just use commands for this. So for you, this is before and after. So it's just a whole 5x5 all the way up. This is a water cave that was above it, and then it goes all the way up there until I reach the surface, and we're gonna do something outside too. But for now, I'm just gonna cover this entire surface in stone bricks. So all of this is just gonna be stone bricks all the way down, just so it can match the walls of the stronghold. I'm also gonna include some mossy and cracked stone bricks. So yeah, I'll go into a time lapse and I'll see you there. I said I was gonna go into a time lapse and I forgot to press record, so I'm just gonna show you the finished result. I just mixed in some of the mossy and the cracked stone bricks just to make it match the rest of the stronghold. And that's pretty much it. It's a 5x5 hole all the way up. And then over here at the top, I just left it pretty basic. Now for the staircase, I'm gonna keep it spiral. The only difference is that it's going to be a little bit wider. So I'm gonna go right here, dead in the center. I think it's this one. And I'm gonna go all the way up with some oak logs. And this is going to be in the center of the rest of the staircase. So I'm just gonna do this until I reach the top. So just about reaching the top, and I'm gonna make it go just 1 block above from the rest of the stone. So I think it should be right here. Yeah, that's good. Now I'm gonna go all the way down, and now we can make the actual staircase. And for that, I'm gonna be using some polished andesite slabs and also some smooth stone slabs. I'm gonna go right here diagonal to the oak log, and I'm gonna be alternating between the stone slabs and the andesite slabs. So the first 3 look like this. This one in the very corner, I'm gonna change it with a smooth stone slab, just because each one of the corners is always gonna be andesite, so a little bit more detail. And I'm just gonna go all the way up like this. This time I'll try to actually press record. So actually this time, let's go into a time lapse. Okay, so that's all done. I reached the surface now, and I feel like this is such a big improvement. Now, I don't want to leave this like this. So what I thought would look nice was some kind of abandoned ruins up here. So for that, I'm just gonna extend some of these walls at different heights, and also just break down this corner. I feel like this one's a good one just to break down. So I'm just gonna get rid of some blocks randomly like this. I think that looks pretty good. And then here at the back, I'll add a bunch of walls just kind of varying height. I feel like that looks good. Maybe some here in the corner a little bit. I feel like that looks nice. And then over on this side, I feel like this one can be way taller. So let's do it somewhere around that, and then add a little bit over here in the corners. So I feel like that looks good. And now that I have the general shape, I'm gonna go in with a bunch of slabs and stairs, but I'm also gonna go ahead and take the time to add in some of the mossy cobblestone and regular cobblestone just to make it look a little bit more abandoned. And the way that I do it, I just go about and replace some random blocks throughout the entire thing. And I'm gonna do this with some cobblestone and also some mossy cobblestone. I'm gonna go ahead and place all of the stairs in, and I like to do these in different directions to create different types of holes. And I also like to blend in with some slabs like this. And over here on the outside, I'm also gonna try to blend it in so it's not so weird. And to that's all nice and mixed in. I just want to add some decorations on the sides, and since I'm in a spruce biome, I think it's appropriate if we use some spruce leaves. And I'm just gonna place those all throughout the entire thing, kind of make them go up the wall a little bit, but also like spread out throughout the entire area. So I think this little patch right here is pretty good. I'm gonna add some over on this side. And then finally, final touches, I'm just gonna grab some coarse dirt and some bone meal, and I'm gonna place those throughout the entire thing. So for the coarse dirt, I like to go in patches randomly like this. I'm making sure that I still leave some patches of regular grass blocks in between. And I also want to spread that a little bit towards the sand. And once I'm happy with that, I'm just gonna go around and place some bone meal. And there we go, we finally have an entrance. And I feel like this is good enough, but I do want to add a few more structures, but smaller. This one's going to be the biggest one. Around this entire area, I'm gonna follow the same technique that I just did right here. So I'm gonna speed this up, and I'll see you in a bit. Now, I was really worried about this part because it's something completely new to a stronghold. It's not something that we have. But ideally, I feel like this would be so nice to have. I still don't know if I personally consider the stronghold something hard to get to, but either way, I feel like players always end up just making a hole straight down. So I feel like this way, at least, it can be a little bit more formal. And since the stronghold is already quite like abandoned, ruined, kind of like left there in the dust, it kind of just made sense for the entrance to be just ruins. The only thing that I didn't like, it was that it was on a beach, but I couldn't really change that. Either way, I was happy that it wasn't in an ocean. So the end result, I really do like it, and I really do hope that it's well received as well. One last thing I want to do is to add some lanterns, because this part is pretty dark all the way down. And I'm gonna place it right where we placed that corner smooth stone slab on each of the staircases. And with that, I feel like we can call this entrance 100% done. But that was the starter staircase, and there's still a bunch of smaller staircases like this one right here that need the same treatment. And to fix that, I feel like it's going to be pretty simple. So same thing as the other one, I'm gonna add a pillar right here through the middle, one block above the rest of the floor, so right there. I'm gonna add a lantern on top just so we can see, and I'm gonna replace all of these stone bricks with andesite instead, just to match the rest of the staircases. The structure generation adds a block underneath each one of these slabs, so I'm gonna replace those with slabs, and also get rid of this one underneath the smooth stone slabs. I feel like it's just a bother, especially if you going up and down. It's so tight, I feel like I'm gonna hit my head. So that's the staircase. I feel like we have a bit more headroom. I just need to fix all of these areas where it connects with the rest of the hallway. Each staircase has an archway like this. So for this, I'm gonna keep it quite simple. So the entire area where the staircase is, I'm gonna dig 1, 2, 3 blocks tall, just to match the rest of the other ceilings. We're gonna do something very similar to this one. I'm also gonna place some andesite slabs right here and do that same checker pattern in the ceiling. I'll quickly get rid of all this stone that generated on the sides. That's the ceiling pretty much done. I'm gonna focus on this little area where it connects to the arch, and I'm gonna create another arch. So right underneath these blocks, I'm gonna place some upside down stairs just like this and fill in this back wall to create an arch like this. And there we go. I feel like that's the staircases all done. So all that's left is to do that same thing with all the staircases that are left. And I'll be back when I finish that. Spiral staircases are all done. Coincidentally, they're all in this vicinity right here. But we do have these regular staircases to take care of. So also for the ceiling, 1, 2, 3. blocks up, and then gonna take out this entire space that it's already dedicated for the staircase. So right where it ends naturally, right here, all the way up. And for this, I feel like we can copy something similar to this one. So 3 slabs right here on the edge, and then another 3 slabs on the same level. I think it should be, that's pretty good. And then for the ceiling, I'm gonna create the same checker pattern, starting off with smooth stone on the corners, and then filling up the rest with the chiseled stone bricks, just like this. And just to light it up, I'm gonna grab an iron chain, place that towards the back right here, and then just the lantern to light up the entire thing. And for the staircase itself, I'm gonna keep it quite simple. I'm just gonna add some stone brick stairs and mossy cobblestone all throughout the entire thing, just pretty randomly. But I do want to fix this arches right here. It cuts off a little bit too weirdly, so I'm gonna make another arch right here, just like we did on the spiral staircase. So I'm gonna get rid of 1, 2, I think 6 blocks, just like this. So right underneath some upside down stone stairs, and then fill in this gap with some regular blocks, and just like that, I feel like that's way better. So I'll try to find all the other staircases, and I'll try to repeat the same thing on those. So I'll be right back. Now finally, hallways, staircases are all done. Now we can move on to the rooms. I'm first gonna focus on this type of room. This one in particular, I'm gonna make it into a fountain. There is another fountain somewhere else. Oh, this one right here. And I feel like they give off the same vibe, just the fountain is a little bit prettier in my opinion. So I'm gonna make this one into a fountain instead, and I'll show you how to do that real quick. So I'll grab some polished andesite, some slabs, and some stairs. And to turn this into a fountain is going to be really easy. So right next to those slabs, I'm gonna place a full block, a slab on top, and then an upside down stair in the corner like this. You'll need a temporary block, so I'm just gonna place that like this, and that's pretty much it. I'm just gonna repeat that on all 4 sides. So just like this, temporary block, upside down stair, temporary block, upside down stair. Then right here in the middle, I'm just gonna add a stone brick wall on top. I'll quickly get rid of all of these slabs right here, and then we can just go ahead and waterlog this wall, and it should get rid of all the torches and everything. And there we go, we have a cute little fountain. I think this is really important. I'm gonna extend the ceiling by 3 blocks as well. So 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna get rid of this entire thing. Now I can actually start decorating the ceiling. So just above all the entrances that connect, I'm gonna place some upside down stairs right here, and then fill in this gap with some blocks. And we're gonna do that with all of these too. Now for the ceiling, I feel like it's easier if we go right here in the center. We're gonna create a ring out of andesite blocks. So the middle should be empty, and then just around it in andesite, we can go ahead and place a smooth stone slab right here. So right above the archway, on this block, I'm gonna place a top slab using the andesite. On top of those, I'm gonna place 2 blocks like this. You can get rid of this one. This one's more of a temporary block, and then a half slab going across like this. And I'm just gonna repeat that same process with all of these archways. And in these gaps, I'm gonna make the same pattern like we did before. So starting off with the smooth stone on the corner, so right here. And then I'm just gonna go right here in the center and place a lantern. And that pattern, I'm just gonna repeat that on all of these, so I'll be right back. And ta-da! This is all done. And just to spice up the room a little bit more, in the corners, I'm gonna create this pillar design that I did over here. So same thing, a chiseled stone brick at the bottom, stone brick walls all along the center, and then right before I reach the top, another chiseled stone brick. Now it's just time to repeat the same process on all the other ones, so hopefully it won't take too long, but I'll be back. And for these, I think this is one of the final voiceovers. I know you just saw how to do them, but there were like multiple rooms that were just empty that I decided to do into these like fountain rooms. Genuinely, there was like 2 fountain rooms and like 3 rooms that were just a square. It was nothing in there. So I at least decided to make it somewhat useful, I guess. There were no rooms connecting to this main room, so I decided to make them into an arch with some chests that would ideally have loot in them. I just thought that it would be nice to have something a little bit more useful in those rooms instead of just a fountain. But yeah, that's it. We're heading towards the end of the video, so bye. Just finished making these rooms. Oh, and you can see I added the ones that don't have any places to go. It's just a wall. I added a chest. I don't know. It doesn't have anything. But I feel like this can be like good potential for some loot if you want to add some, or just like storage, random storage. But other than that, these rooms are complete, and I feel like I want to move on to the libraries just because I really like them. So I think this is pretty easy. Let's remove all of the cobwebs, and honestly, you can grab some chairs and repurpose these for the abandoned hallways that I made. Otherwise, you can just get rid of them completely, and that's gonna clean up the entire room. Now, I want to fix the balcony because I was doing like a test run of what I wanted to build, and I noticed that it's not symmetrical because they added a ladder right here, so it pushes the balcony like this, and it looks so weird. Never noticed that. So easy fix. I'm just gonna grab some oak and place the corner back just to make this entire thing an oval instead of a square. So just 3 blocks in each corner to make it rounder. And then we can push back the fences and get rid of these ones over here. And now 4 of them are complete, and that looks way better. I'm also gonna get rid of this chandelier just because it's really annoying me right now. I think I'm gonna work on the first floor first. And I'm gonna get rid of some of these bookshelves just because it's so crowded in here. I feel like you don't have any space to walk through. So I'm gonna get rid of the outer ones. So all of these that are on the edges. Okay, now we have some space to walk around. I first want to make some supporting pillars next to the balcony. So up here, I'm gonna go on each one of these corners, and I'll get rid of it and just place a oak log all the way up until it matches with the rest of the fences like this. And I'll do that on all 4 sides. Okay, so all 4 sides are done. Now let's work on these walls. So again, I feel like everything is just too cramped in here. So I'm gonna push everything back 1 block. Well, not everything, just the bookshelves. But I'll get rid of these bookshelves and then I'll place them behind where these stone bricks are. And this is how it should look like. These pillars on the sides, I'm gonna change those for some oak logs instead. So this is what I want it to look like for all of the rest of them. So I'll be right back when that's done. And ta-da, this is how it looks like. I also did the other side, so it's the same thing. Now to change up these bookshelves, I'm gonna get rid of them, actually all of them, just so we can restructure them a little bit. So I want to place 3 rows, so 1, 2, 3. I think that should be symmetrical in line with those pillars. And I want to leave a 2 block gap right here so we can walk through. So I'm gonna extend those bookshelves towards the middle, but just 2. So just like that, I want to add another row over here. So another 2 block space and then another set of bookshelves. And this way I just feel like it's so much more nice to walk around. And regarding the chest that we just broke, I think I'm gonna add it in between one of these bookshelves. I don't really love when they place it like on top of one of these bookshelves, so I'm gonna make it built in over here. Gonna get rid of these 2. We can place some stone bricks behind that. And with some oak stairs, I'm gonna place 1 upside down stair like that. And then the chest goes right here in the middle. We can still open that, so it should be all fine. And that's the first floor almost all done. I do want to fix the ceiling before I move on though. So first, I'm gonna grab some spruce slabs and place those right underneath where we have the fences. And I'm trying to only do the blocks that have fences on top, just so from the bottom it creates this pattern right here. I feel like it looks cool, so I'm gonna try to do that around the entire edge, and I'll be back in a sec. And this is how it looks like from the top. From the bottom, I feel like it looks way cooler now. There's just a couple more details that I want to do here at the first floor. So I'm gonna grab some stairs and some lanterns because this is dark. I want to add some lanterns on these 2 middle pillars, so 1 here and 1 here, and do that same thing on this side. So 1 there, 1 there. And with the stairs, I'm gonna place those in between each one of these pillars to create an arch. Truly, this is just like useless detail, but I feel like it looks so much better, so I'm gonna do that. And there we go. This is the first floor basically all done. Now let's do the second floor. I want to do the same thing we did underneath with the bookshelves, so I'm gonna push these back 1 block, and then the pillars on the sides is also gonna be oak. So I'm just gonna mirror what we did over here on top. And like magic, they're all done now. Oh, I almost forgot, there was a chest over here on the corner, so I'm gonna add it the same way we did over here, but in the middle. Some bricks at the back, and then an upside down stair, and we can place in the chest. And there we go, that's all good. And now for the ceiling, because this is so sad. And the first thing that we need to do is extend this by 3 blocks, just like we did with the rest of the stronghold. So 1, 2, 3 blocks. I'm going to dig all of this out, including these blocks right here, just so everything is flush with these bookshelves. So give me a second while I do that. And now for the actual ceiling, I'm gonna grab some smooth stone, chiseled stone bricks, polished andesite, spruce and oak slabs, and then also some oak stairs. And actually, let's start off by extending these logs by 1. So 1 over here, and then these ones also. In between each one of these pillars, I'm gonna place some upside down oak stairs. So it should look like this. I'm just gonna repeat that same thing on this side. Now with the oak slabs, I'm gonna create a rim on the same level as the top of this stair right here. So top slab right there. I'm gonna create a ring going all the way around. So from the bottom, it should look like that, and then extend that all the way until I reach the other side. So there we go, just a ring along the entire thing. And then on each one of the corners, I'm just gonna place 1 single slab to create a rounder shape. So that's how it should look like. Reminder, if you're in survival, you should light this place up a little bit just because it's going to be really dark up here. And now with the andesite blocks, I'm gonna create another ring. And to do that, I'm just gonna place a temporary block right here and then create an overhang, and that's where we're gonna create the ring. So I'm just gonna go along the entire edge and just follow the same pattern. So it goes all the way over here. It's going to curve a little and then extend all the way towards the back. Okay, so this is how it looks like from the bottom. Then we're gonna repeat that same thing, but with some spruce slabs this time. So right on the edge where the andesite is, I'm gonna place another ring following that same pattern. So there we go. This is how it's looking like so far. And then finally we can create that same checkered pattern. So I'm gonna start off with the smooth stone first, and then fill in the rest with the chiseled stone bricks. Now let's place that chandelier back. So I'm gonna grab some oak fences, an iron chain, some lanterns, and then also an oak trapdoor. And I will never forgive Mojang for this, but why did they make it a 2-block center? So I'm forced to make the chandelier 2 blocks wide. So right in the middle, 2 chains like this. I'm gonna extend those by 3. So 1, so this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then 2 fences on the ends. And next to those fences, I'm gonna add a few more along the sides, just like this. And then right here in the bottom, 2 trapdoors along those center fences. And then we can place in the lanterns just to light everything up. I want to move this ladder because I feel like it looks so awkward just here in the corner. So let's get rid of that. Instead, I'm still gonna go on the same wall where it was, but I'm gonna make a built-in arch right here in the middle. So again, boo, it's 2 blocks wide. I hate that. Go all the way up like this. So we end up getting rid of a 4x4. I'm gonna grab some stone brick stairs and place those in the corners. And then I'm gonna get rid of this wall. And this is where the way up for the ladder is going to be. So I'm gonna get rid of all of this. This back wall is going to have stone bricks instead. So I'm just gonna do that. Don't forget to mix in some of the mossy stone and the cracked stone bricks. Okay, so that's all done now. Now I'm gonna place 2 ladders instead of just 1. I tried it out with just 1. I didn't like how it looked like, so we're gonna end up with 2 ladders instead. I'm gonna extend these blocks right here. And then these at the front, I feel like we can replace those with some upside down stairs instead. I feel like it creates a little bit more like headroom. I don't know, maybe I'm just crazy, but I'm gonna do that. So this is how the ladder looks like. And then on the opposite side, I feel like it also looks too empty. So I'm gonna create some arches, make those have bookshelves instead. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. So 1 block from the pillar, 3 blocks, then 2, 3 blocks, then 2 pillar. I'm also gonna get rid of 4 blocks, so 4 blocks tall. And then on the corners, some upside down stairs. And this back wall instead is going to have some bookshelves. So bookshelves over here at the back. I'm gonna get rid of these blocks right here and replace it with some oak. Now, if you have this issue, what I'm gonna do, honestly, I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna place upside down stairs right here. And then a single slab right here in the center to hide that wood. I'm gonna keep the floor as it is, just because there's a lot of wood going on already. I feel like it's still balanced this way, so I'm gonna keep it like this. Oh, well, that's detail, actually. I'm just gonna grab those same andesite blocks and place it like this, so it indicates like there's a stop right here. And then we can just have the rest of the floor be the same. But yeah, I think that's it. I think we are done with the library. Actually, unfortunately for me, I feel like there's another library. Yeah, there's one over here towards the back, so I'm gonna do that same thing for this one. So I'll take a screenshot from here in the corner. This is the before and after. This is how it looks like. You already saw this, so it doesn't really matter, but it's all done now. So yeah, this is all done now. I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. So let's move on to the next room. I think that's going to be those weird, like, I don't even know what to call these. As a kid, I thought that these were mob spawners. I felt like they were supposed to spawn up here, and then the mobs would eventually just drop in the middle, and this is where the killing chamber, like in my head, this is how it looks like. But I looked it up in the wiki, and it's just described as a storeroom. I have no idea what that means. There's just a single chest in this entire thing. So either way, I'm gonna gut this entire thing. Okay, all got it now. I think I'm gonna do, actually there's one right here. So I think I'm gonna do this exact same design. Same ceiling design. The only difference is that there's not gonna be a fountain in the middle. You already saw me do this before, so this is going to be filled with before and afters. So before, right here, and after this is all done now. And now to decorate, I have a couple of ideas. First of all, I want to add a netherrack, like an eternal flame type thing right here in the center. I know it's weird that it's netherrack, but I just want it to always be lit up, so I'm just gonna do that. Then surround that with some andesite stairs to match the rest of the floor. I was thinking that we can add some chests over here at the back, and then leave a 1 block space, 2 upside down stairs, and another set of chests. And in my mind, I feel like this could be almost like those double chests and bastions that have slightly better loot. Maybe one of them can be empty in case a player like wants to leave anything before they head into the end. And then actually, I thought that we could add a trap chest. I'm not good at redstone, so I'm just gonna leave it like this. But I feel like it would be cool if, I don't know, there was like a trap right here with some lava or something, just to make it like, ooh, be careful, there might be a trap chest nearby. So yeah, I'm just a builder. This is my idea. But anyways, I think that's pretty much done for this one. Even though I completely changed it, I feel like it looks so much better. And it makes sense for a storeroom now. I think I've been dreading doing this, but I think this is going to be the next room. But we're gonna start off with getting rid of this structure right here. So this roof thing slash bridge can go. Then all the other blocks that are next to it as well. Just so it's flush with the rest of the wall. I'm gonna get rid of also these stairs right here. I'm gonna leave that platform right there just because this is the landing for this hallway. But all of this can go, and then I don't know why, but it spawns in this weird gap right here in like underneath the structure. And mobs can spawn right here, and then spiders can spawn over on this side. So if you're doing this in survival, just make sure to light it up. I don't know why it spawns this little gap right here. I'm gonna fix the floor first because I feel like that's gonna give us a bit more of a guide. So just like we did before, I'm gonna follow this line right here, and then it can go down over here. For the stairs, I'm gonna keep it the same as the floor. So cobblestone and mossy cobblestone stairs, and polished andesite stairs for the center. So stairs right here in the middle, randomize some cobblestone on the sides. Now we're gonna connect this area to the rest of the hallway, so it goes right here. And then this one to the center, so we're gonna turn a little bit and then go straight down. And then same thing with these stairs, so these can go. And then we're gonna add the andesite instead. And then all of these bricks can just be cobblestone instead, just like we did for the hallways. I'll show you at the end another example, just because each generation is different. So mine is like this. So next to the staircase on the second stair, I'm gonna build 1, 2, 3 blocks up with some stone bricks. Do that same thing on this side. So 1, 2, 3. On those pillars, let's place a upside down stair, and then 3 blocks on top of those stairs like this. Actually, I need some room, so let's get rid of the ceiling real quick. This time I'm gonna do 4 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So we really need that extra space. So let's dig up this real quick. So right now we just have a basic archway. I'm gonna add some upside down stairs in the corners. The center block, I'm gonna replace it with some chiseled stone bricks instead. And then these two are gonna be some upside down stairs just to create a little bit more detail. And then on top of the chiseled stone brick, I'm gonna add a slab and then 2 on the sides like this. This part, I'm gonna sacrifice the consistency of the pathway for the tunnel itself. So I'm gonna use some stone brick stairs instead. Another 3 right here. You might need a temporary block, so get rid of that. There we go. Some full blocks right here in the middle, and then another set of stairs. So 1, 2, 3, and then over here. This is awkward because there's no hallway for this. I think it has to be like right there. I'm just gonna fill in this with some stone bricks just so we can fix everything that we destroyed. And then for the ceiling, this is gonna be a different design. For this, I'm gonna use some polished andesite blocks with some slabs, some spruce planks, smooth stone, and then some chiseled stone bricks with some andesite slabs. I'm gonna place them right here above it, and I'm just gonna outline the entire room. So I'm just gonna make a ring like this. This should be enough to not bump your head when you're walking, so that should be all good. I'll add another slab in the corner just so we can round things off. Reminder to light it up. And we're gonna follow that up with some spruce planks, so right there. This is a temporary block, so we can get rid of that. And then I'm just gonna follow that same pattern to create like an oval shape. So all the way around until I reach the other side like this. Now some more andesite slabs, so 1, 2, 3 right here. 2, then another 3, then 2. Basically the same thing, just without the corner bit. And in my head, I was trying to create an eye. So instead of making the checkered pattern, I'm gonna use some smooth stone on the edges. And then in the center, just some chisel, some bricks. I was trying to go for like an eye of ender, so this is the design that I'm going for. Actually, I don't think I used the full block, so whatever. I'm gonna grab some lanterns. Gonna grab a slab and place that in the corner, and then a lantern. Final touches, I'm just gonna grab some brick walls and place those on the very entrance of this arch right here. And then place some lanterns. I mean, those are optional, but I feel like it looks way better with them. I think I might add the pillar right here. So I'm gonna get rid of this actually. I'm gonna create that same pillar pattern. So chisel stone bricks on the ends and then stone brick walls in the center. Yeah, I'm gonna keep that. I think it gives more purpose to those lanterns anyway. Okay, that should be all done for this room. Let me show you what I mean actually. So let me go to the test where I was doing the first set of rooms. And this one did have like a bunch of hallways leading everywhere. You might bump your head like right here if you're walking on the very corner. It's not too bothersome. The ceiling is a little bit close when you're like right here. Now back to the actual stronghold that I was renovating. So that's one room all done. Now I have to repeat that for maybe 2 more rooms, I think. So I'll just repeat the same thing again. Oh god, save me. I'm so tired. There's just 2 rooms left. There's some jail cells right here. I just want to get the entire structure done before I do the portal room. So this one's first. There's just a few things that I want to change. First thing, I want to get rid of this block right here and replace it with an upside down stair on each one of the doors. These are the only iron doors in the entire thing, so I feel like they're appropriate to be here. I'm just gonna add a lever on each one of them because I find it so annoying, because I hate when it's a button and I press it and I don't get in on time. So this way it's just a lot easier. Inside of here, I want to change this wall right here with some actual stone brick walls, just because I don't like how it connects to the iron bars. But I'll leave this one in here just so they can like communicate or something. Oh, also forgot about these. Those are gonna be stairs as well. And then of course inside, we're gonna add a lantern in the corner, a bed also in the corner. And I feel like it would be really appropriate to place some villagers and some zombie villagers as well. So I'll place the villager inside and then lock him in. And then he's gonna be terrified forever, but this one's gonna be a zombie villager. And instead of having a lantern like he does, I'm just gonna place a chain as if the lantern broke off, a bed, and then I'll place the zombie villager in the corner. Oh, I'm in peaceful. Sure, let's put it on easy. I just don't want any other mobs to spawn nearby, so here's gonna be there. Those are the final two things that I need to do. I also feel like it's good to have a bed just in case you want to set your spawn, or you can steal them and using to kill the ender dragon, but that's up to you. I think we can move on to the end portal. I'm excited. Okay, I think we are actually done. Let's do the main star for the end portal. I was thinking that we can do something way bigger than this. So this wall is going to be 13 wide. So right now it's 3, 6, 9, then 10, 11, 12, 13, and that should be the width of this wall right here, and on the other side as well, so right up until here. So that wall is 13. I'm just gonna get rid of it now just to prepare everything else. So I'm gonna get rid of all of this. This is going to go until I reach all the way here towards the back. So I'm gonna get rid of all of this up until the ceiling, and I'll be back. Okay, so that's all gone now. For the ceiling, it's gonna be 9 tall. I don't know how to count. It was supposed to be 11 blocks tall, not 9. And I didn't notice that until like 20 minutes later. So just editing me covering up for my past self. So right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, 9, right there. So this is the heavy part. I'm gonna get rid of all of this until I reach this very corner over here, and I'll be back with a bigger room. Okay, so that's all gone. I think for now we're good. We'll worry about the back wall in a sec, just because that's going to be a different shape, but I'm gonna get rid of this. All of this can go, and everything underneath here can also go. I'm gonna make some stairs leading up. I'm gonna place those right here, and I'm gonna follow the same pattern as the floor. So over here it would connect just perfectly like this, and then on the sides I would randomize some of the mossy cobblestone and the regular cobblestone. So that's going to be like this for now. I want to make a platform surrounding the end portal, so I'm gonna start right here in the corner and go 3 to the side. So that's 1, 2, 3 like this. We can go back a block so we can make a corner, and then another 2 to reach the wall. Same thing on the other side, so 1, 2, 3, then corner, 1, 2. Next to the staircase, I'm just gonna surround that with some stone bricks, just like this, just so it reaches the same level as the stairs. And then with some upside down stairs, I'm gonna place those on the very edges like this, and then to create a trim on the platform, some upside down stairs just like that too. Now here, this is where we're gonna have some floors, so I'm just gonna fill this up with some stone bricks. Now for the back wall, we're gonna round it out a little bit. So from the edge, this upside down stair, I'm gonna count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then place a wall. So 5 blocks and then a wall in the corner. And with this, we're gonna make the contour of the wall. We're gonna place another stone brick next to that. Go back a block and then diagonal another 2 blocks like this. Leave a 5 block center, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 2 blocks, and do the same thing, so 2 blocks like this. And it should be all symmetrical. And these walls are gonna go all the way up to the ceiling. So that's perfect. We have 13 blocks here, 12 blocks in between this wall and that wall. And then in the back, it's curved, so 2, 2, 5 across, 2, 2. Okay, with that, the structure of the room is all done. So here in the center where the lava used to be, actually, let's light this place up a little bit just so nothing spawns in. I'm gonna create that checker pattern that we had. You won't be able to see it, but at least we know it's there, so there we go, a checker pattern. Then it's time for the walls. I'm gonna keep it simple. I'm gonna make this entire thing stone bricks and mix in some of the mossy stone and cracked stone bricks. I'm so excited, I'm so close to finishing. Let's start to decorate. So I'm gonna grab some polished andesite slabs, some spruce planks, and then these two. So chisel stone bricks and smooth stone. So I think this is fairly easy. I'm gonna start off here in the middle. So I'm just gonna line this entire thing with some top slabs next to those stone bricks. So right here, just like this. And then from here in the corner, I'm gonna pull it all the way across to the front side. So right now we have a trim along the back side like this. Now in the corners, I'm gonna place 2 more slabs. So 1, 2. And do that same thing on this side. So 1, 2. Oops. Now with some spruce planks, I'm going to go all the way around 1 block above. So you should be able to fit 1 block right here. And go all the way across. And this time we are going to add some corners. So go all the way around like this. So right here, we're going to make another trim. So I'm going to start off right here. We are going to include some of the corners like this. So you should have 1 block free like this one. On the sides, go 2 blocks across. So just like this. And then here, we're going to copy the same pattern. It's going to be a little bit more difficult because we don't have a guide. But we just try to replicate that same thing with a 2 block center. So here, it's going to turn. We're going to have 1 block in the middle. And then just connect all the way. So it should look like this right above the end portal. And then finally this one in the middle, I'm going to extend it all the way across until I reach the wall right here. And the final step is pretty easy. I'm going to do that same checker pattern we've been doing the entire time. So with smooth stone, I'm just going to go right up against the ceiling and create that checkered pattern. So that's done. And for the center, actually it's going to be the same thing. I don't know why I separated those, but it's going to be the same thing. Just like this. And then boop, boop. There we go. Now I wanted to add some lava decorations just to make a small resemblance to the original. So right here, I'm going to copy this same design we did for the fountains. So 1, 2, 3 blocks right here, 2 blocks from the wall. It's going to be a full block and a full block. These are supposed to be upside down stairs and then a slab right here in the middle. These 2 blocks on the sides are going to go 6 blocks up. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then 3 final blocks across. And with some slabs, I'm just going to place 1 on each corner and 1 in the middle. Then this block right here is going to have some lava trickling down. And then I'm also going to fill these just so there's not lava flowing. Hey, I feel like that looks good. Let's do the same thing on this side. So 3 blocks right here and 2 on the sides. And I feel like I'm just going to cut this off. So bye. Okay, so we're doing good. Both sides are done. I just want to add a few more lava details. So over here at the back, I'm going to get rid of these 4 blocks right here. This goes into a cave for me, so I'm just going to build a wall and ignore everything else. Then just got to make sure that this one is also destroyed. So just like this. And then here's where you're going to place your lava and then quickly just cover it up with some iron bars. Over here at the bottom, I'm just going to replace these with some upside down stairs. I want to do that same thing on this side, but just 1 in the middle. So right here. It should be in line with the center of the end portal. 1, 2, 3 blocks, and then this bottom one too. Then place the lava and cover that up. We just have a couple more details to go. So where the render wall is, 1 on the very corner right here. Chisel stone bricks on either end, and then all of this is walls. Then same for this one. So I'm gonna get rid of that slab, place in the chisel stone bricks, and fill it in with walls. Don't forget to do the other side. Okay, so the back is looking really good. Just need to do something about this wall. It's just so big and empty. Wait, I almost forgot. I forgot to place a line of slabs right next to those spruce planks. They're supposed to be over here, lining the entire thing. The reason I noticed is because I was gonna get rid of this slab right here so I can place that same pillar thing. Do that same thing on this side, so get rid of that slab and then pull it all the way up. I never made the actual entrance for this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so I just added that entrance right here. Just some final touches. I'm gonna grab some polished andesite stairs from the edge of the entryway. I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks tall. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the 5th block, I'm gonna place an upside down stair and a lantern on top, and then also 1 here in the middle. So from the stair, 2 blocks across, 2 blocks up right here, and another lantern. Actually, oops, I made that stone bricks. It's supposed to be andesite. And then finally 2 stone brick walls right here with a lantern on top. And the final thing I need to do is to finish off the floor, and we are all done. I'm proud to say that we are finally done. I didn't show the making of every room, otherwise this would be like an hour-long video. I haven't edited this, so I'm guessing that it's going to be like 30 minutes long, but I don't know. Anyways, let me give you a small tour just because I'm so excited. Everything is all done now. So now we have a brand new entrance. Oh, there's a hi. I feel like it feels way more official now. So I decided to make some cinematic shots instead. I'm so happy with how it came out. So of course, what you're seeing right now is the new entrance. This is the first room that you see down after leaving the starter staircase, and everything else is just rooms that you already saw. But I really do like how it turned out. I'm so happy. I think my favorite room is somehow the library. I really like how it turned out. And also the dead end hallways, I feel like those look so good. I really do like the blood details with the redstone. I feel like it's just chef's kiss. Oh, and one last thing I wanted to mention, that I'll leave the world download for this in the description. I'll also leave the Coords in the description in case you want to check it out. But it's called the World Download 2. In case you want to check out the actual Stronghold that I made, it's there. Yeah, that's it. I'm so happy. Like anyone else, I usually just renovate the portal room. So I feel like this way I finally scratch the itch in my brain and I can officially say that I've renovated an entire Stronghold. So I hope you enjoyed this video and thank you so much for watching.